We are here today at our annual Pow Wow out here off the Old Macon Road on the Tomlinson's property. And we've been coming here for years. They've been doing this actually for about 20 years, bringing the kids from Northwest Lawrence Elementary. It's a two-day event. They'll bring the pre-K kids one day and the kindergarten kids one day and learn all about Native American history. It's such a great tool here on this property. It's a beautiful piece of property. And we're going to be sharing with you things today. We've got all kind of things. We've got basket weaving going on. We've got the Department of Natural Resources here talking about the pelts and the animals and what we see in this part of our country. And we're going to be, as you can see, we've got the teepee behind us. We're going to be talking about archery and how the Indians hunted back in their day. And just travel all through here and learn so much about Native Americans. It's a great tool, as you'll hear Miss Smith, one of the teachers at Northwest Lawrence, talk to us about. We've got Mima cooking cornbread over here, as you see every year, and it's just a great Thanksgiving story for us to share with all our viewers here on TV 35. We want to thank the Tomlinsons, the whole family, for inviting us out every year. Usually it's freezing to death, but today it's actually a beautiful day as we film this on Thursday, 1 week before Thanksgiving, but we're going to be sharing this with you during the week of Thanksgiving. And we have so much to be thankful for. And one thing we are thankful for is our school systems here in Lawrence County. The Dublin City Schools, Trinity Christian School, and also our Lawrence County schools. They all do such a great job at educating our kids. And if you don't think you've got something to be thankful for this week, you need to think again, because we do in our community have so much to be thankful for. And I want you to just kick back and enjoy this show today. As we walk around this beautiful property here, you're going to see some beautiful smiling faces, a lot of little Indians running around, and you're going to learn a lot about Native American history.
Good morning. Welcome to the Pow Wow. We're going to talk about Indian egg baskets, something I learned to do many years ago. And our Indians did them first, but they would make them out of the wild things out of the woods, like grapevine and kudzu or any other kind of vine. And what I was going to do is show you how I make them. And first thing I do is I give my rounds. I make 2 rounds, one big and one small. And these are the egg baskets right here. That's their shape. And you put the small one over the big one. And it already starts looking like a basket, because there's your handle, just like these. And then next, I tie a God's eye on either side. And that makes a little pocket on either side to put the ribs, just like ribs in your rib cage. Everybody's got ribs, right? And these are the ribs for the basket. And then you start weaving over, under, pull it through on either side. You do one over here, then you do one over here. And then when you get through weaving over and under and pull it through, it closes up just like these baskets. And then you have a whole basket. And I'm going to let each one of you come up and help me weave some. Okay, are y'all ready? Here's how I do it. Over, under, and pull it through. And over and under and pull it through. Think you can do that? I'm going to help you. Over, under, pull it through. I also have to keep it wet so it won't break. Okay, we'll start over here. You want to come up? Duggan? Okay. Over, under, and pull it through. And so pull all that through. Good. Good. You're now a weaver. Okay, who wants to do it next? You want to do it again? Come here and do it again. Okay, over, under, and pull it through. Pull that through. Pull it all the way through. That's right. Good. Did a good job. Thank you. Good. Go down the row. Okay. Over, under, and pull all this through. Just pull it through. Pull it through. Just like that. Okay. You want to do it again? Over, under, and pull this through. That's right. Just pull it through. All the way to the end. Okay, thank you. That was good. We're going to work down that way. Okay. Over, under, and pull it through. Pull all that through. To all the way to the end. Can you do it? Good. Okay, over, under, and pull it through. And see, it takes a long time to weave a basket, doesn't it? Okay, next. Thank you.
We're going down the road.
Over, under, pull it through. Good. Over, under, pull it through. Pull it all the way through. Good. You did good. Over, under, and pull it through. Pull all that through. Good. Over, under, and pull it through. Over, under, and pull it through. Can you pull it through? Good. You did good. Come right over here and I'll show you. Over, under, and pull that through. You can do it, can't you? Over, under, and pull that through. Sounds easy, doesn't it? Over, under, and pull it through. And it goes over, under, and pull it through. Okay, thank you. Good.
Elena.
Who wants to do it next?
Lily. Go. Lily, not Henley. Lily. Hanley. Is your name Lily? Lily, go sit down, Hanley.
It doesn't matter. Y'all can all come. Okay? Over, under, and pull all that through. Right here. Hold this right here. Here you go. Pull this through. It's wet, isn't it? That's so it won't break. Pull it all the way through. Over, under, and, okay? Pull this through. Pull it all the way through. There you go.
Why Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain? Blue Frog knows water, and we can help with your plumbing and drain needs. And here are some of the things that set Blue Frog apart from your average plumber. We arrive on time 24/7, 365 with no overtime charges. Our prices are fair and transparent. We don't charge just to show up. We're considerate of your family and your home. Our service experts are tidy and professional. We have the knowledge to provide the right fix for your plumbing problems. We complete a free plumbing evaluation as part of every service call. Blue Frog Plumbing, CentralGeorgia.com, 278-5615. Give us a call next time life makes a mess. Blue Frog Plumbing and Drain of Central Georgia, where we hop to it.
Good morning. Good morning. I am so glad you are here today. This is so much fun. Jill and your teacher, Miss Reiner, Jill. Miss Reiner, we grew up right down the same road. So I've known Miss Reiner all her life. I knew her as Miss Graham. I can remember when you were born, honey. All right, today our Thanksgiving is 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving. "'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the trees the fall leaves were spinning aloft in the breeze. That's just like right now. All the leaves are falling off the trees. 8 children had boarded their school bus with grins and hoped that a field trip soon would begin. Just like you're on today. You're on a field trip to the Pow Wow. But they're not going to a powwow. Let's see where they're going. They sang as they rode through autumn terrains, while visions of drumsticks danced in their brains. O'er rivers through woods with winding and weaves, their school bus sailed on through the new fallen leaves. When out on the road there arose such a clatter, they threw down their windows to see what was the matter. When what with their wondering eyes should they see but a miniature farm and 8 tiny turkeys? And a little old man so lively and rugged, they knew in a moment it was Farmer McNugget. So he had 8 turkeys out there. He was dressed all in denim from his head to his toe, with a pinch of polyester and a dash of Velcro. And then in a twinkling they heard in the straw the prancing and pawing of each little claw. More rapid than chickens, his cockerels they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. He had all 8 of them and he gave them a name. Now Ollie, now Stanley, now Larry and Moe, on Wally, on Beaver, on Shep, and Groucho. The turkeys were chunky with smiley, beaked faces, and they greeted the children with downy embraces. That means they hugged them when they got there. So out through the barnyard they ran and they flew, and they gobbled and giggled as friends sometimes do. So they were just having a good time with those turkeys. Then somebody spotted an axe by the door, and she asked Farmer McNugget what was that for. With a blink of his eyes and a twist of his head, the old farmer told a grim tale of dread. It means they didn't want to hear what he was fixing to say. Tonight, said McNugget, those feathery beasts will be chopped up and roasted for Thanksgiving feast. The children stood still as tears filled their eyes. Then they clamored aloud in a chorus of cries. They were so sad. Oh dear, cried McNugget. Now what shall I do? So he dashed to the well, and the teacher went too. And they fetched some water fresh from the ground in hopes that a swig might calm everybody down. They were all upset. And when they returned to quite the matter, the children were calmer and mysteriously fatter. The boys and girls drank up their drinks in the hay, then thanked old McNugget, and they waddled away because they were so fat. They limped to the school bus, all huffing and puffing. It's not easy to walk with hot turkey stuffing. And then as the school bus drove off in the night, McNugget looked round, not a turkey in sight. Wonder why. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and the stars up above shone down on a school bus abounding with love. They had saved those turkeys. The very next evening, 8 families were blessed with 8 fluffy Thanksgiving turkeys as guests. They feasted on veggies with jelly and toast, and everyone was thankful. The turkeys were thankful most. So each one gave thanks for love and for living, and they all had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. Yay!
Anytime, brother.
Okay. This is our black bear that's native to Georgia here. This is what you commonly see if you're out in the woods in Georgia. There is a season on them in South Georgia, Middle Georgia, and North Georgia. So we have a pretty good population of them. So you may see these. When you do see them, you don't have to be afraid of them because they're probably as scared of you as you are of them. So when you see them, you can rest assured you're only going to have a glimpse of them because they're fixing to run. But I'm going to show you some other animals here we've got. This pelt right here is a white-tailed deer. This is what's got everybody on the move this time of the year in the woods. This generates a lot of revenue for Georgia, draws in a lot of hunters from other states and all. Georgia is well known for their whitetail population and their bucks especially. So we draw in a lot of hunters. Here we have an alligator pelt. This is the back of it. It's one that's been tanned to a different color. As you can see, the back has the scales on it that's used to protect the alligator. This is what you always see on an alligator, either his scales or his head, that he eases up out of the water to look around. This right here is the belly of the alligator. As you can see, it's real fine, real thin. It's been dyed a black color. If you look at it, it's real thin, it's real pliable. It's often used to make belts and make boots and purses and stuff such as that. It's the softest part of the alligator. It's real flexible. All right, here's one of our common cats we see around. It's got as you can see here, it's got a short tail on it. You can see right here. It's called a bobcat. It's very indigenous to here. When you do see them, most of the time, they're only for a second. Because when they see you, most of the time they're headed the other way. They like eating rabbits and chasing birds and stuff such as that, small animals. They are a predator, and they help take out some of the smaller animals out of the pool. All right, I'm going to show you a fox. Actually, 2 different foxes here. We got 2 different kind of foxes here in Georgia. One of them is a gray fox, and one of them is a red fox. And as you can see, the gray fox here looks a little bigger, and generally they are a larger fox than your red fox is, and they don't mix and mingle. Usually if you have a den of gray fox, you only have that's the only thing you'll find in the area. The red foxes stay to themselves, the grays stay to themselves. They're both predators though. They both eat chickens and rabbits and birds. They are that kind of stuff. So they're kind of very similar to a bobcat as far as their diet. And you will find both of them. They're very common. You'll even find them in residential areas around houses and stuff. They'll come around and eat mice and rats and stuff such as that. Okay, here we're going to talk about our old coyote. This was brought in here for fox hunters to run their dogs with because they were faster, they were harder for the dogs to catch than fox were and all. And now we have a very good population of coyotes. You can hear them at night howling and making all kinds of racket in the woods. They're very unique animals. They're very smart animals. When you see him, most of the time he's already seen you and he's headed the other direction. They don't stand still a lot. When you do see one, he's always skittish. He's a very, very keen animal. He's a predator. He's the largest predator we've got as far as the canines go here. That's indigenous to Georgia. And they'll eat rats and rabbits and small critters such as that, birds. You'll even have problems with them getting in your livestock occasionally, eating your chickens, messing with your calves when your cows are calving, and stuff such as that. So he is a predator. He can be a good thing, but he can also be considered a nuisance from time to time too, as far as farming goes. Okay, here we're going to talk about an otter. Find them in our rivers and our ponds and stuff. They generally eat fish and that kind of stuff. They can cause a lot of damage to your pond as far as cleaning one out, depleting your fish population, because they have a very large appetite. And usually when you see one of them, you'll see at least two or three. They have a tendency to travel in kind of, I guess you'd say, in packs. But this is your otter, and you will see a bunch of them from place to place. They got real soft skin. They make excellent pelts for jackets and stuff. So it's a beautiful animal, but they cause a lot of damage as far as to the fish population. Here we have a muskrat. You find these throughout Georgia in places, probably more so up north Georgia. You will find them along the river basins and creeks and all. As you can see, he looks very similar to a beaver, except he's a lot smaller frame, a lot smaller tail and stuff. So this is called a muskrat. Here we have one that looks similar to an otter. It's called a mink. They don't get as big as otters, but they have a very similar diet. They'll eat fish and stuff such as that in your ponds and all. They're a lot smaller, make excellent pelts and all for furs and stuff. Very soft fur, a lot even softer than an otter. So they're an excellent animal for the fur industry. Here we have two skunks. There's two different kinds of skunks you'll find here in Georgia. One is the striped skunk, which is the most common. He's the bigger of the two skunks. You have to be careful when you're around them, because if you mess with them, they will spray you with a spray. They'll leave a bad odor on you. Same way with a spotted skunk. He's a lot smaller, as you can see here, in comparison to the striped skunk. You will find both of them here. But this is a smaller one, and the one you see the least of, the spotted skunk. But anytime you see a skunk, just leave it alone and you'll be all right. Here we have a skull showing a spiked deer. Most people, when they look at it, if they've never heard of a deer, they look at it, they'll think it's a 2-point because they talk about number of antlers, but it's actually just a spike buck skull.
Alright, thank you for coming. I'll be back shortly.
Thank you.
Dad, I'm losing my house. What should I do?
Son, your mother and I were there, and Lumen Earl filed a Chapter 13 for us. He even set up a payment plan we could afford. He saved our home, and he kept my check from garnishment. Give Lumen a call. I'm sure he could help you too.
Lumen Earl, solving people's financial problems for over 30 years. Call today for free consultation.
Does everybody want to shoot the bow and arrow? Yeah! Well, come on over. Let me talk to you for just 1 second.
You can.
Yep, for y'all though who don't know me, I'm Boone's daddy. What we're going to do is, let me hold that. We're going to shoot the bow and arrow. Does everybody know what the Indians used to use a bow and arrow for? What they used to use it for?
Fire.
Fire? No. They used to use it for hunting. That's how. Yeah, that's how they would. That's how they would get the animals for their dinner. What are some of the animals that they would use to try to hunt? Here's a hint. Does everybody know what that is? Deer. Yep. Buffalo, turkey. Y'all see the deer? Yeah. That's what they used to hunt for their food. Pretty cool, huh? And this is what they would use, a bow and an arrow. So what we're going to do is everybody, Boone, y'all come back up here. Everybody back up just about 2 or 3 steps, and we're going to do one at a time. All right. With this hand right here, come over here next to me. You're going to hold the orange part.
You're going to hold the bow. We're going to put our air in, all right? And with this hand right here, hold on, we're going to pull it back, and when I count to 3, you're going to let go with that hand, okay? Pull back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, bullseye, first shot. Air in. All right. When I count to 3, no, we're going to pull it back. Hold on, come right here. When I count to 3, we're going to let go with that hand, okay? Pull it back. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good shot. All right. We got a bunch of professional bow and arrow shooters in this class, it looks like. No, first time, there's nothing to it. Take this hand, and we're going to hold that little rubber part right there. This hand goes on the orange piece on the bow. We're going to pull it back. When I count to 3, you're going to turn that hand loose, okay? You ready? Pull back hard. Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, good shot. Hey, y'all, the guys with necklaces on, the guys and girls, make sure you flip your necklace around. There you go. Who? No, first time? There's nothing to it. Come here. All right, you're going to hold the orange part with that hand. All right, slide that hand down. We'll put our air in. Okay. And just pull that one string back. And when I count to 3, you're going to turn that hand loose, okay? All right. So pull it back hard. Pull it back hard. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let go. Oh, almost slid right over the top of it. Good shot. Parker, you up, big boy? You ever shot one? You have? Shouldn't be nothing to it, huh? You got one for Christmas? Well, good. Let's put our air in. All right, you're gonna hold the orange part, the bow with that hand, and we're just gonna pull this one, hold on, let loose with that hand. Pull this one string back. When I count to 3, you're gonna turn that hand loose, okay? All right, pull it back hard, pull it back, pull it back. All right, you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we were close, a little low. Jacob, you ready? You ever shot one before? 1, gotta turn this hand loose when I count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Turn loose. Oh! All right, who's next? You next? What's your name? Addison? All right. You ever shot a bow and arrow before? You have? No? First time? Well, let me show you how to.
We're going to talk about it in just a minute. Do we have everybody here now?
Somebody's birthday.
Mm-hmm. Are we all here now? Whose class do we have with us today?
Pre-K.
Pre-K, but who's your teachers? Who is your teacher? Is that right? Okay. All right. We're gonna ask the teacher to close their ears, okay? I'm gonna ask you a quick question. Would y'all rather be out here having fun today or be in the classroom? Would you rather be in the classroom or out here having fun? Out here? Okay. All right. Miss Janice, they said they cannot wait to get back to the classroom is what they said. All right. Well, this is a very bright-looking bunch.
Y'all leave the chain alone.
Did everyone take their smart pills this morning? No? Well, did you have your coffee this morning? Okay. Well, I'm just going to check you all out and just see how smart you are. This is a smart group, right?
Yeah.
Super smart, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, my name is Mr. David Hall, and I work with Georgia Soil and Water Conservation Commission. Now, I'm going to talk to you today about the importance of water and how we should conserve it and take care of it. And I want to start off with, let's just release some energy. Would y'all like to release some energy? Do y'all get to hollering in the classroom? No? Well, I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to yell out the answer just as loud as you possibly can, okay? Do you think water is important? Yes or no? Let me hear you. Very good. Very good. Doesn't that feel good to just let that out? Feels good, doesn't it? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to ask you a few more questions, but I want you to raise your hand. And then if you know the answer to my question, okay? All right, so here we go. I'm going to check you out and just see how smart we are today, okay? I want you to stop and think about some ways that you use water in your everyday life. Raise your hand if you can tell me how you use water in your everyday life. This gentleman right here, how do you use water? Drink it. Very good. Mr. Hall has a little surprise for you. Would you like a piece of chewing gum for getting that answer correct? Very good. Well, hold on. We have to raise our hand, okay? Now, Mr. David has one rule. It's a big, major rule. What do we do with our paper around our chewing gum? What do we do with that? What do we throw it away? Where does it go into? In the trash can. Very good. So we already got a head start here. Very good. All right, so what are some other uses that we use besides drinking? He said drinking water, which is very important. All right, raise your hand. How do you use water? Swimming. Very good. So you mean to tell me we use water to actually have fun in? Yes. Who's ever had the opportunity to go to a water theme park? Have you been to a water theme park? Well, what would it be like if we showed up? We all got on the bus and showed up at a water theme park and they had a giant sign. And the sign said, "No water today." Would that be any fun? No. Have you ever tried to slide down a water slide that didn't have water on it? If Mr. Hall tried to do that in his bathing suit, he'd be like, ski, 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 ski. And he'd be like, "Oh, that's so hot back there, isn't it?" That would be there would not be any fun with it. So very good. We use water to survive. We have to have water to survive. We have to have water for recreation. What about, I'm thinking about something that lives in the water. Maybe perhaps back there in the pond. This gentleman right here, what lives in water, swims in?
Sharks and a fish.
Sharks and fish. Very good. Okay, listen up, listen up, listen up. She brought up a very good point, because just like we live out here and we need the air and the oxygen, the fish and the animals that live in the ocean, they have to rely upon that water. So water is very important. Very good. All right. My next question. Can I go to Walmart and tell them I need you to make me some water? Can we make water? No. Well, you get another A+ for that, because sometimes I ask that question and they say that we can make water.
You can get some fresh water.
Well, we can get fresh water, but we cannot make water. So we use water over and over and over again, just in different forms. That's why the water cycle comes into place. So when you get older and you learn about the water cycle, you'll say, "Gee, I remember Mr. David talking about that." But we use water over and over. Sometimes it's in the air, and sometimes it falls as rain, and sometimes it evaporates when it gets hot. So if water is important and we can't make any more of it, don't you think we should try to save it or not waste it? So what are some ways that we would not waste? How do you not waste water? So if we go and buy, there you go. If we go and buy water, we're not going to just pour it out on the ground, are we? No. How about when you're washing a car or a truck? Do you leave the water running out of a garden hose and just let it run on the ground? No. That's why we put a nozzle on the end of it. Very good. A+, A+, A+. So your teacher, you all get 100 today on your question and answering session, okay? Now, who wants to have a little fun and do a little pretending? Well, Mr. David's 41 years old, and I still like to do a little pretending, okay? All right, now everyone, I want you to stand up in place. Stand up, okay? And I want you to look. We're going to do a little pretending, okay? A bee get him. Oh my goodness. All right. All right, everybody stand up. And we're going to do a little demonstration here, okay? All right? Now, I have a display over here. And I have like a little community right here, okay? And our community, what is the name of our town that we live in? Do y'all know? Georgia. All right, so we live in the state of Georgia, but we're in the town of Dudley right now, okay? So we're gonna pretend that we're in Dudley, okay? All right? All right, so I have a red house, a blue house. So which house would you like to live in? Would you like to live in that red house? The blue one? Would you like a blue house? Blue house? Okay. She's going to live in a blue house. You, sir, which color house would you like to live in today? Red one?
The green one.
The green one. Okay, all right. Okay, which color house would you like to live in today? The red one? Would you like the red one? Yeah. Okay, all right. That's a good choice because you get a brand new car. Where did you get that car from? That's a nice car. So everybody, what is your name? What is it?
No, my name is Jasper Patterson.
Jasper? Mr. Jasper's got a nice car there. So all the rest of us are going to pretend that we live in one of these homes right here in this community. What do you think this blue area right here represents? Water. Water. Now, do you realize that there are some towns that get all of their drinking water from a large lake, like the city of Atlanta? They get all of their drinking water from Lake Lanier, or a lot of it. Now, do you think we just go and take a straw and drink out of that pond water? No. We purify it and make sure it's good for drinking water. But we're going to get our drinking water right here, okay, from this pond. What do y'all want to name this pond? What do you want to name? The Georgia pond. Okay. So we're going to get our drinking water right here from our Georgia pond. Now, I have in my hand right here. It looks pretty nasty, doesn't it? Have you ever walked across a parking lot and looked down where cars are parked? What is that greasy looking stuff that drips out from up under our cars sometimes? Yeah. What? Who said oil? Oil. You said oil? Very good. So we have oil that drips out from up under our cars sometimes. Well, in this bottle, last night, I filled it half full of motor oil, and the bottom half, I filled it with water. Can everyone see that? Now, what happened, I shook it up, and it would look like chocolate milk. Now, what has happened? The oil has floated to the top, and the water has gone to the bottom, hasn't it? Okay, now this is very important. I want you to remember this because we're going to talk about that in just a second. What did you say your name was now? Jasper? Was it Miss Jasper?
No, Jasper Patterson.
Mr. Jasper Patterson. Okay. Mr. Jasper, you know what your car has developed?
Oil.
An oil leak. Can you believe it? Now get that car back while it's under warranty and get it fixed, okay? So all up and down our street, we have oil being dripped onto our street. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Is it hurting anything, do you think? It's a bad thing? Do you think it's hurting anything, Dave?
No.
Okay, we're going to see in just a minute, okay? All right, now, I have right here a car, okay? It's a nice car, nice car, nice car. What's your name?
Ethan Anderson.
Mr. Ethan, do you like country music? You do? All right, do you like to play it loud? Okay, here we go then. Mr. Ethan's driving down the road and going through Dudley. She thinks my tractor's sexy. You like that song? All right. You better turn your radio down. You know why? You could get a ticket for that. All right, so I'm going to take you out of this car because I know you would not do this, all right? But this is a family, and they have some young ones in the back seat. And guess what they're doing? I'm hungry. So mom and dad says, okay, hush, we're going to McDonald's. I'm going to carry you there, and we're going to get you full. So the mom and dad gets a biggie size fry and a biggie size Big Mac, and the kids get what? A Happy Meal? And now everybody's happy, right? So now they're going down the road, and they're all through eating. What do you think they're about to do with their trash as they let down their window? Now, well, they're driving down the road.
They're gonna open the windows and forward, but it didn't go in there, so the police come and they get a ticket.
They surely will, but what is it called when we throw trash out on the ground? Littering. Very good. Have you had a piece of chewing gum today? You have? Well, okay. Okay, so is littering good or bad? Bad. Very good. Guess what I have here in my little bag? I picked up some litter right outside of my home, and look at this plastic water bottle. If I threw that out on the ground, do you think it would just magically disappear? No, it would not. What should we do with our plastic bottles? Trash can. And they make recycling bins where you can put this in there, and they'll make brand new bottles. Put it in a trash dump. How about, this is one of my favorite drinks, Diet Coke, but I did not throw it on the ground. But do y'all like to have a little pocket change? Do you like a little money in your pockets? Yeah. Well, do you know that you can save your cans and they will actually pay you money for your aluminum cans? That would be pretty nice, wouldn't it? The last thing I have in here. Who likes bugles? Okay, keep your hands up because I have some suspects here. Now, which one of you put this in my yard? Did y'all do this? No, I know nobody would do that. That plastic would, do you think it would ever go away? No. Where should trash go again? In the trash can. All right. So we have a river right here that's flowing into our pond that we're getting our drinking water from. Now, that factory is miles, a long ways away from where we're getting our drinking water. But in our factory, we have a machine that keeps pollution down. And that machine breaks down and it allows a little bit of pollution to escape out into the air and onto the ground. Now, what is pollution? Does anyone know? Is it good or bad? Is pollution good or bad? Good. It's bad, isn't it? We don't want to touch it, smell it, or get it on our skin because it'll make us very sick, wouldn't it?
Yeah, then you have to stay home.
That's right. You might miss a day of school, and that would be terrible, wouldn't it? Okay, so we have some pollution that has escaped, and they fixed the problem, and it's not happening anymore. But it's a long ways from our drinking water. That probably won't affect us, will it? Do you think it'll affect us?
No!
We'll see. All right, the last thing that I have over here is Mr. David's farm. Now, Mr. David loves to farm, and it won't be long. It'll be time to plant corn. So Mr. David, he calls his county agent, and he says, how much fertilizer do I need to put down on my crop? And he says, put 400 pounds of fertilizer. So I put the right amount of fertilizer on my crop. But I get to thinking and scratching my head, you know, Mr. David wants the tallest, greenest corn around. I want better corn than anybody. So if he says 400 pounds is good, I'm going to double that amount. So I'm going to put way too much fertilizer out on the ground. Now, is that a good thing? No. We'll see. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Now, I have cows up here. Old Bessie, she's kind of ornery this morning. She doesn't like cold weather. She's in our drinking water. Should I allow her to be all swimming in our drinking water?
Yes.
Stay back behind the chain, okay? I'm going to let you all come up here in just a second, okay? All right. So, I should have my cows fenced out of those areas, right? I mean, you wouldn't want a cow drinking in your, swimming around in your, where you get your drinking water, would you? No. That's right. So Mr. David ought to do a better job with his cows. All right. Remember, we're pretending, okay? So no one say cotton. But what is this that floats above our town? In the sky? Clouds. Very good. So now you're beginning to learn a little bit about the water cycle. So what falls out of those dark gray clouds? Rain. Very good. And also if it's really dark and it's bad weather, what do we hear and see sometimes? Thunder and lightning. All right, so here we go. I want you to give me your loudest thunder noise you have. Give it to me. Okay, that's enough because I am scared to death of thunder, okay? Y'all really scare me. That's enough. All right, so guys, put your rain gear on. Ladies, put your umbrella over your hair because I know you don't want your hair to get all frazzle-dazzled, okay? You don't want your hair to get messed up, do you? Well, here comes the rain out of our thundercloud, okay? Now, do you remember our little experiment with the oil and the water, how it does not mix? And I asked you if the oil on the street would be harmful. Here comes the rain. Now the rain falls, it lands on our street, it lifts the oil up off of the street, and it flows into what's called a storm drain. Once it enters it into the storm drain, where is that oil at now?
In the bottle.
No, is it in our, you see it? It's in our drinking water. Can you believe that? Now who wants that in our drinking water? Don't bump the table though. All right, back up because here comes some more rain. Now you remember we had all kinds of litter. So our windshield wipers are flipping and a flopping, and there goes all of our litter. You remember those Diet Coke cans and the trash? Now it has ended up in our drinking water also. Now we've got trash in our drinking water. Is that a good thing? No. You remember I told you we had a little bit of pollution to escape, but it was a long, long ways from our drinking water? Well, it's raining on our factory over here, and the rain has sent the pollution into a river. And where does the river carry that water to?
The pond.
That's right. And we're drinking out of that, remember? So now you see how it's really important to keep pollution out of our waters. Finally, we're over here, and now, old Bessie's saying, "Meh, I'm glad to see some rain." But we're getting some rain on our cropland. And I put way too much fertilizer out on the cropland. Now, the fertilizer did get into the soil where the plant needs it to grow, okay? But the excessive amount that I put out has now ran off and got into our water now. That's not good, is it? Fertilizer is an important thing. Crops need fertilizer, but we need to apply it as needed and don't put too much down. So now, who wants to drink that water? Nobody wants to drink that water, do they? So what is the lesson that we've learned here today? What is the lesson? Should we litter? No. Should we try to conserve and take care of our water? We're not going to try to waste it, are we? Where does trash go? In the trash can. Give yourselves a big round of applause. You did great today. Very good. I'm going to talk to your teacher and see if you can get 100 today. All right, y'all want to come up and see the wow and look and see? You see how dirty our water is now? You want a piece of gum? Okay. Y'all have been an excellent group, and I do appreciate it.
Hello, I'm Andy Cullins, and I'm here to tell you all about a friend of mine, Bill Lucas. He's been my insurance agent for 28 years, been a friend of mine for 34 years. He's always looked after my insurance needs to the best of his abilities, and has always been very competent.
As promised, we've got Mima here, and you cook every year and you enjoy it, don't you?
I sure do. I enjoy doing for the kids.
What's your secret to this cornbread I got here?
Mr. Billy grinds it, and I make it up with love.
Tell me why this is so important for y'all to be a part of every year.
Well, just our love for kids. Make sure they have somewhere to go and something to do that's good for them. And hey, we get as much out of it as the kids.
And I know you like to, I don't know if you're still doing it, you like to travel with the youth at church. It keeps us young, don't it?
It does. I had to give them up. I travel a little bit, but not much.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the young people of America today?
Some of them are still being raised by parents that want them to behave. Some of them are raising themselves, and you know what happens.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank you for what you do, not just the cornbread, but putting this on a 2-day event like this. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Well, yes and no. I enjoy doing it. Mm-hmm. So if you enjoy something, it's not work. Just like I still substitute at school. Mm-hmm. But to me, that's not work. I love going and being with the kids. Mm-hmm. And half of these kids that are here, that are right there, that's taking a picture, I helped raise her.
Well, looks like you did a good job, huh?
I did. I did.
Well, thank you so much for what you do, Mima.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Here we are again at the Pow Wow out here on the Thomasons' land. And Miss Smith, you're a teacher at Northwest Lawrence, and you've been coming every year, hadn't you?
Every year for a long time. The Thomases and Tomlinsons do such a wonderful job making their place available, and they do everything to make this a wonderful treat for the children, and it is something that they will remember forever.
Amen to that. And why is this so important for y'all to be a part of this?
Well, this is the culmination of 3 weeks of Native American unit that we teach in pre-K, and we feel it's very important to give these children, these 4-year-olds, just a little bit of an insight of how important our heritage is. And this is just a way to culminate that unit and get them out in the outdoors and come here for a powwow, which is a big meeting, and the tribes come together, and we just have a fun time.
And a twofold question. Number one, what kind of feedback do you get back from the kids?
I have children, I've been in pre-K for 14 years, and I have children who are graduating from high school who still remember things we did at the powwow and say that that is something they'll never forget.
Okay, and the second part of the question, the parents, what kind of feedback there?
Parents always have a wonderful time. They're amazed at the amount of information their children retain, and just to see us get out and have a good time, it's great for children and adults. So.
Now, I always, of course, we have to do some editing as we do these every year because kids say the darndest things.
Yes, they do.
You're an educator, you know that. But what from the teacher's perspective, what do y'all think about this?
Well, we wouldn't do it if we didn't think it was worthwhile. We love it, and just hope, as long as I'm here, I hope we continue it every year.
Okay.